A friend of mine is starting an online business, so he asked me which AI tools would I recommend as the digital alchemist. Because for someone starting with AI, there are so many tools that it's become overwhelming. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my AI tool stack that I believe would suit 99% of you. And I will also tell you, if I only had to pick one tool between all of these tools, which one would I pick? And by the way, before you ask, this video is not sponsored. Now, disclaimer, when it comes to AI, there are usually three types of people. People who hate it, the people who love it, and the curious. My view on the matter is simple. You can either whine about it, or you can use AI to your advantage, just like Batman uses Robin to maximize its potential. Now, let's all pray that we don't all become Robins in the future. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get started. So my first tool of choice is called Midjourney. And I use Midjourney mostly to create images. Even though lately they added a video feature, to be honest, I haven't really tried it extensively yet. So there will probably be a video about it later on the channel. But right now I'm just using it for images. Now there are many competitors, many image generators out there, but what I found is that I always get the best results with Midjourney. Now sure, if you use Flux in open source mode, it's going to be way cheaper. And maybe I should get more into Flux. But one thing about me, and something you should pursue also, is that you shouldn't jump ship every week, because that's what happens with AI. Every week, not even every week, every day there's a new tool. Every day there's a Midjourney killer. Every day there's a this and that killer. But the truth is, if you pursue AI that way, you're going to get overwhelmed and your wallet is going to suffer. So it's better to stick to what you know, like an ecosystem of tools. And when you get to the limitation of those tools, now it's time to change. But of course, you should keep an open mind. So that's why I said I'm willing to try Flux and some other tools, but for the moment, I'm staying focused. I need images ready for my work, and Midjourney can deliver and consistently deliver. Now, what am I using it for? Like I said, images for websites, for B-roll, for videos. It's also nice if you want to put real people like yourself in generated images, even though there's a better tool for that, but in some cases it's really good. They also have this in-painting feature where you can take an image and just paint over it and have a completely different image. And that's what I'm using. I'm using this process to create a short part of the clip like this. Like all things generative AI, there's been a lot of backlash from designers, photographers, and I completely understand it. Now I'm going to talk about my personal case. Each person is different. For me, as you know, I'm the digital alchemist. That was one of my first hobbies in the digital world. So I know how to take pictures. But let's say I want to illustrate something that's happening in Guatemala, for example. I'm not going to go and just pay a plane ticket and go to Guatemala to take one picture. Now you're going to tell me you can use stock images. Yes, let's talk about stock images. So the beginning stock images was like $200 for one pictures, and then the price went down and went down. And I understand it's a lot of work for the photographers. But what I'm saying is, if you're a big company, you can pay those type of fees. But if you're just a one-person company, if you have a sole proprietorship or something, or you just do it for a hobby, you're never going to pay for those fees. Sure, you could get some cheap stock images, but with AI now, you can really create what you want. Maybe you want a specific object inside that forest in Guatemala. Now you can put it. So you get my point. And when it comes to geography, well, guess what? I used to own a video production company, so I know how to do it. And the way I'm using video, and we'll talk about it with another tool, the way I'm using video is I'm using my skills and I'm just using that tool to magnify those skills. So let's say I need a video clip about something because I want to illustrate it. Well, instead of going on the field with the cameras, the heavy equipment and everything, now I can do it with AI. But still, it's not replacing all of the video work because nothing beats human. So I'm still gonna shoot some video, but as a compliment, it's really great what you can do with video. Okay, next tool, Photoshop/Canva. Because yes, I know maybe you don't want me to compare those two tools, but you know, I'm a Photoshop lover. I can say it, I've been using Photoshop for so long. But I recognize that Canva, and especially Canva Pro, has got a lot of great features if you don't need the full-blown Photoshop. Now, the funny thing is, in terms of pricing, here we see it's 23 US dollars per month if you want to get Photoshop. Now check this. Here, I'm on the photography plan. And if you just scroll down, as you can see, you can get it for $20. Okay, it's only $3, but hey, it's better than nothing. Now you can also get Canva Pro. And when it comes to Canva Pro, the pricing is about $15 per month. Now, of course, you can use Photoshop and Canva Pro to resize images, optimize it. But the main reason why I'm putting this in this list is for generative fill AI. Let me show you an example. So this is what the camera sees when I shoot a video. And now with generative AI, I added this. And still with generative AI, I added this. And now I can add logos here on the frames and I have a YouTube setup. And if I add plants, it's the whole 9 yards. Now, what are the concerns? Once again, graphic designers, photographers, the same thing I told about earlier. Now, what I've just shown you I can do with Photoshop, I could do it before AI, but that would take me hours. And bear in mind, for this specific setup, and actually I created a video on the channel about it, so make sure you watch this video next. The caveat is that I need to do this process for each video. Now I created templates and I can do it way faster than at the beginning, but still I need to do it because if the lighting changes a little bit, I need to regenerate the fill. So imagine if I didn't have AI, it would take me hours literally to always recreate this setup. So I think you get my point here. It's a lot of time saved. All right, let's move on to the next tool, Runway ML. And basically, Runway ML is video generation with AI. Now, once again, there are many competitors, but Runway ML is their core business. For example, if you take Google and VO3, everybody's talking about VO3, or maybe when you're watching this video, maybe it's VO4 or 5, or I don't know what. And yes, it's great, you know, I must admit, it's pretty great, but generative video is not the core business of Google. It's like a side project. So you don't know what's going to happen with this project. Remember Google Glass? Anyone? So I'm not saying it's going to go away. I'm just saying the difference is that Runway, that's how they make their money. Actually, they signed, if I recall, they signed a couple of contracts with some Hollywood studios. So they really want to get this better. Yes, they're not perfect. Some things could be better. But what I learned in this AI industry, as I mentioned before, is don't jump ship every time there's a new tool, a new feature. Just wait, master the tool. And when really it has hit a limitation that is really preventing you from finishing your work and making money, then it's time to move on if something is better. When it comes to Runway ML, what I love, they have very unique features like references. Maybe not unique because, yeah, some other tools use it, but the way they're doing it, I find it unique. Also, they have Act 2. And Act 2 is what allows me to do what you're seeing on screen right now. Yes, I'm using a combination of tools, like I said, but with Act 2, the character you see now is animated by me, the actor. And that brings me to concerns. People will say, I already talked about videography, people will say you're taking the jobs of filmmakers, and I don't think so. I think a lot of filmmakers would get better results with tools like Runway. They will mix it with real footage, with real images. And because they know videography, they know how to prompt and how to create great images. And now when it comes to actors, well, like I just said, with Act 2, you are the actor. And someone who cannot act really well, you will see it on the character. It will look dull. It will look boring. But if you're a good actor, nobody's going to beat you. So there will still be a need for actors, in my opinion, but maybe there will be a new category of actors. People who would never get the role, not because they're not good actors, but maybe it's the way they look or the vibe they give, you know, for the director. But now someone is going to act and use AI to basically animate another character. Some of those qualities are really going to be obvious. Now, another feature I love that they added is the chat mode. So basically, it's like when you use ChatGPT, I suppose you know what ChatGPT is, but you can just describe your ID, and it's another way of creating with Runway, and I really like that they added that. Now, one thing that really sold me for Runway is the fact that they have an unlimited plan. And especially if you compare it to solutions like VO3, which is $200 or $250 per month, and it's not even unlimited. Correct me if I'm wrong. Then you get Sora. Sora, if you want to use it, like, the best version is like 200 plus per month. And I think it's not even unlimited either. I'm not sure. But this one is unlimited. And you also get credits. So if it's a bit slow in unlimited mode, you can switch to credits. You get your credits every month. But that's the great thing. When you are a creator, credits can create anxiety. Now, some of these tools I use have credits, but when I can avoid it, I prefer unlimited plans with a reasonable price. Now, of course, if you're making 10,000 bucks per month with what you're creating with AI, it doesn't matter if you're paying $200 or $250 per month with VO3 or Sora. But just imagine someone that doesn't have that kind of money, is just trying to get started. Even here, it's an investment, but I believe the price is really reasonable, especially for the results you can get. Next, HeyGen. So HeyGen is one of the leaders when it comes to realistic avatars. Now, they have other features, like they have this tool where like you're looking at text on your computer, and then with AI you can change the way your eyes are looking. So it's like they're looking at the camera. I've tried it with mixed results, but that was a while ago. And in terms of AI, in just a few months, things can really improve. So I should try that feature again. But when it comes to AI avatars, it's pretty great, even though for some reason, the avatar you see here, I find it not that good actually. But they have some great avatars, and you can also avatar yourself. And the great thing is you can link it with another tool, which we're gonna talk about, for professional voices. So if you clone your voice, you can link it to the tool, and basically you can have another version of you. For example,
hey, I'm super excited to start using my very own custom avatar. I can't believe how far technology has come. This is insane. By the way, all of this is generated by AI. The video and the voice also. Can you believe that?
But as you can see, it's not perfect yet. It's getting better and better. Sometimes you get great results, but sometimes you have this uncanny valley effect. But still, the tool is promising. One of the features I like is the multilingual videos. Let me show you a quick sample.
欢迎与 HeyGen 一起进入视频创作新时代. HeyGen과 함께 새로운 영상 제작 시대에 오신 것을 환영합니다. Chào mừng bạn đến với kỷ nguyên tạo video mới với HeyGen. Bienvenido a la nueva era de creación de videos con HeyGen.
Now, when it comes to pricing, they have competitive pricing, especially compared to their pricing before with credits. So now they also have unlimited plan, but with a caveat. And why do I say this? When I started using it, I was super excited. So I started creating a lot of little videos, just testing the features. And it was pretty fast. Like you would generate a video, and in the next minute or 3 minutes, you would get your final video. But then after a few videos, it was like, even for a 10-second video, it would tell me 30 hours left in the queue. I was like, huh? Must be an error. And then by digging deeper in the Reddit rabbit hole and other places on the internet, I found out that after the first 30 generations, they put you on the relax plan, and it's really slow. So in my opinion, it's not really ready for prime time. So what if you need 80 clips or 90 clips and you cannot wait 24 hours to have a 10 seconds clip created? So I think they're really missing an opportunity here. But still, if you need it for very precise things and you don't run out of your 30 fast generation videos, it can help. Next, ElevenLabs, the most realistic voice AI platform. That's what they say, and I must say I agree. It's really impressive. They have a lot of AI voices, but they also have voices created by actors who are licensing their voices. And that's great. If you want human-made, you can get it. If you want AI-made, you can get it. And you can even clone your own voice, depending on the plan, of course. But it's possible. And I'm gonna say the results are pretty good. Actually, what you're listening to right now is my voice.
And this is my professional clone voice.
Impressive, right? So when it comes to pricing, I'm gonna say it's pretty reasonable. For what you can get, I think the pricing is on point. Now, don't be fooled by this. It's not $11 per month. It's just for the first month. It's actually $22, at least at the time of recording this video. Now they have a free plan and a starter plan. But if you want professional voice cloning, you will need this plan, the Creator Plan. So 11 Labs is great for faceless videos, voiceovers, and voices for ads and marketing in general. Now, not all voices are great. Some of these voices really scream AI. Maybe because they were the older voices on the older models, but with the newer models, it's getting better and better. They also have this speech-to-speech feature where you can record yourself
and then use one of the voices who's gonna really respect the timing, the expression, and you actually can change some of these settings. And this is really great.
The only caveat, in my opinion, I really thought you could take an accent, for example, someone who speaks English with an Italian accent. I thought you could take this audio and then use the speech-to-speech feature and put an American accent, and it will be a perfect American accent. But what happens is, if the Italian says, I like roasting beef, and then you try to change this with the speech-to-speech, the American will say, I like roasting beef. It will be weird. He will start American, and then he would switch it, like morph into some kind of angry Italian and morph back to American. Sorry, maybe I don't do it that well, but you get my point. So some of the usual concerns is, what about voice actors? Well, like I just said, some people, even you can go there and license your voice if you want to. But still, I understand the concern. If you're a voice actor and you've been doing that your whole life, I completely understand. Now, I may be wrong, but I believe that for big projects, like companies with a budget would still prefer real human actors. But for sure, for the medium and smaller companies, they might revert to 11 Labs. So one of the things you can do if you're a voice actor is become one of the best voices on the platform. Market yourself. Make it known to people, because a lot of these voices I just discover randomly because I spend time in a session. But maybe you could market it on YouTube. You could, show example and market your voice. And I'm not a voice actor, but I was trained a web designer, a WordPress professional. So trust me, we were one of the first ones being impacted with all the AI tools. But then the bubble burst and we realized that clients still need us, even though there's AI everywhere. But by using the power of AI, we can 10x our productivity. So in the same way, voice actors can leverage AI. And what I'm saying is valid for all industries, or most industries anyway. If you're a carpenter, you still have a bit of time before AI catches up. Even though robots are just around the corner, right? But come on, it's not all doom and gloom. We're humans. We've made it up to here. But where are the dinosaurs, Where are they? But we're still here. Yeah. Next, Suno. And I know this is controversial because as soon as you talk about AI music, I think musicians are really impacted with AI. I understand. Once again, I completely understand. If you're a musician or you're learning how to do music, you might be surprised, but you're on the Digital Alchemist channel. I actually did a lot of music some years ago. I'm not a musician, but I'm really good at listening and reproducing. So I did that. I created full-blown videos, went to the studio, had a home studio. I had so much fun doing it. And at one point, I even thought it was going to be a career, like a lot of teenagers, right? But I understand that for the people who do this for a living, it's really frustrating, especially with all the controversy about how the models worked and were using licensed music. Now, like I said, the controversy is big. There are some lawsuits currently happening, and we'll see what happens. But in the current state, when I needed background music, for example, for a vlog, I never went and contracted someone. Either I would do the music myself, but it would take me a long time, just to get the ID, get things right. Or I would just go on platform like Envato Elements and get some licensed music, part of the subscription I had. But sometimes if it was really frustrating, I wanted a specific type of music, but I can't really find it. Or I can find it, but it's like everybody has the same music in their videos. So with a tool like Suno, I can quickly prompt, make a few iterations, and then I have something I can use right away, like in a few minutes. Even for fun, I just created an album. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not an artist. I'm not trying to compare myself with an artist, even though I know how to make music, I know how to write lyrics, I've done it before. But I wanted to create this album just to test, is it feasible? And yes, it is feasible. Even with specific accents and these kind of things, specific type of music, it worked. But my main use is just for background music in videos. whether for informational videos or for ads and marketing. Now, in terms of pricing, I think the pricing is great. The $10 plan for me is more than enough. They have a free plan, but the $10 plan for me is more than enough. And I think the pricing is really good. I wish more AI tools would come with a reasonable pricing. And now for musicians, once again, I understand the concern. I feel for you, but I see two types of behavior. Some people are really angry about it, really vocal. I understand it's how you make your money. It's your passion. You learn so many years to play the guitar, the piano, and so much sweat and tears to get to where you got. But then I see some other artists like, what's his name again? Timbaland. I don't know if he's got equity in the company, but I saw a few posts about him. Like he's using Suno to fast track his music. But the controversy gets even bigger, and I understand it because now you get some of these AI artists that are topping the charts on Spotify and other platforms. So yeah, once again, I completely understand the way I'm using it as a faster and reliable way to get quality background music, mostly for my videos. Okay, next, ChatGPT. And you've probably been wondering, why did I talk about ChatGPT? Well, it's for a reason. I love ChatGPT, but maybe not for the same reasons most people do. See, I think the brain is really a muscle, and you need to train that muscle by using it. And I see a lot of people, they just go and ask ChatGPT. They don't even think by themselves anymore. And I don't want them to become like that. So one of the ways, I'm just gonna share one of the ways, because I like to use ChatGPT for brainstorming about various ideas. It's like you don't have someone to talk to at that specific moment in time, and you can just hop on the computer or in your phone. You can even talk to it and just brainstorm ideas. It's just helping. But one of the ways I concretely used ChatGPT lately was for this website. So I created this website. It's an e-commerce website. It's for one of the courses I created, and I wanted to animate this shoe. By the way, the shoe was also created with AI, with Midjourney. The logo, I had the idea, but I used Midjourney to help me create that logo. Actually, I have a full collection of shoes that you see here. But basically, I wanted to animate that shoe. Now, I told you before, I'm a WordPress professional and I've learned some PHP, JavaScript, and all of that. But what I used to do before, if I don't know the code, because I'm not a pure coder, I'm more like a web designer and front-end developer, I can do some light PHP code. But if I didn't know the code, PHP or JavaScript, I would just hop onto Google and just type, and I will land to one of these forums. So someone would have some kind of code, kind of similar, and then I will, tweak it, and, sometimes it wouldn't work. I would just waste time. But here, I just told ChatGPT, hey, this is the name of my image. This is what I want to do. Got just a couple of iterations, and then I had my code, and boom, voila. Now, another quick example. So I created a long course. The course actually about the website I was just talking about, which is an e-commerce website with WordPress. And if you look at the list of timestamps, and this is just the short list. Actually, the real list is like 5 times bigger, but I had to shorten it because the description of YouTube is only 5,000 characters. So I had to pick like the most important moment in the course. So this is the list I had. Now, don't want to get too technical, but there was like a technical mismatch. Basically, my camera was recording in 20,98 per second, and the exported videos was 24 frames per second. So those 2 frames seems like nothing, but on a 4 and 30 hours video, it makes a difference. Actually, in the end, there was like 20, 30 seconds difference. So the timestamp would not match the exact moment in the video. So instead of going back and manually stopping and referencing each timestamp, what I did is I explained the problem to ChatGPT, said, can you just give me the adapted list? And voila, just a couple of minutes just to write the prompt, explain the problem, and boom, I had it. Instead of spending a long time, I don't know, 30 minutes, 1 hour, because it's very long. I need to stop. I need to play the course and stop at every point. That would have taken me so much time. So here's the way I use ChatGPT. But I still try to use my brain muscle as much as I can. Now, in terms of pricing, they have a free plan. Then they have the plus plan. The plus plan is like $20 per month. And then they have the pro plan. And the pro plan is $200 per month. Like they go from 0 to 20 and then 20 to 200. In the 200, it's like unlimited access to all reasoning models, but you also get Sora. But still, I explained it before. Of course, if you're a professional and you're going to make a ton of money with this, it's like, it's like nothing really. But if you're just getting started or you're low on funds, come on, $200 to create video, and I'm not even sure if you get the unlimited Sora video. And even in terms of what Sora can do, yeah, it's great, but I don't believe it's greater than Runway, for example. Depending on when you're watching this video, of course, because as I explained, Sora is going to come with a feature, and then Runway is going to come with another feature, and then Sora, and then Runway, and so on. For your own sanity, just stay with one tool stack. And like I said, when you reach a limit where you cannot do what you want to do, or maybe it's taking too much time, or it's too expensive compared to the new solutions, then it's time to move on, but not before that. Now, some of the usual concerns about ChatGPT is that it's replacing writers, coders, and so on. Once again, you're a Batman and you can use ChatGPT as his super Robin. And if you think clients are just gonna hop onto ChatGPT and create a new app or a new website or any new kind of software, you are overestimating your clients. Sure, at the beginning, that's what they're going to do. They're gonna fire their developer, their designer, and hey, we can do it with AI. But then they realize everybody has the same results, or when you have some software, when there's a problem, you don't really know how to debug it, how to troubleshoot it, and you're going in circles with the AI. And even if you could get the code perfectly, humans still crave human interactions. If you're a customer and you have a problem with your software, you want to talk to a human at one point. Have you ever been in that situation where you bought a service or a product and something is going wrong, like Amazon, anyone, and you try to get in touch with them, and then you go into these circles with chatbots and AI, and personally it's driving me nuts. I'm just like, I want to talk to a human. And bro, that was just for like $20 products. No, maybe a bit more than that. But now imagine someone who's selling some software to someone else, but they're just using AI. They don't know how to code. So they got AI to create a product and they're selling this software for $5,000, for example. The customer on the other side, the customer of the customer, if something goes wrong, how do you think they're gonna feel for the $5,000 tag? That's why I still believe there is hope for human work. But once again, use AI to your own advantage. So as long as we stay Batman and we don't all become Robins in the future, then we're safe for the moment. Now, as promised, if I had to pick just one tool in this AI tool stack, the tool I would choose is Runway ML. Why? Because on top of the video tools, it's got a bunch of tools. Like I said, you can generate images with consistent characters, so you can put yourself in the picture. I did it many times, and then I use those images in videos. You can generate audio, you can lip sync video, you can remove background in video, frame interpolation, in painting, super slow motion, transcript, upscale images, and motion tracking. So it's really great. It's really like a complete tool. Not all the tools are equal here, but still, if I had to pick one tool, I would choose this one. Now, I don't know what the future holds for the moment, and I've been with them for a few months. I really appreciate, they're really trying. It's not perfect, like I said. Some features are better with Kling, some features are better with some other tools, but all in all, in terms of the ratio of what you pay for what you get, I think it's great. You can get great professional quality, even if sometimes it takes a few more iterations, but still, the fact that you don't have these credits if you take the unlimited plan, to me it's great. I can really iterate, try so many things, and I'm not scared, I'm not limiting myself.
And after I recorded this video, Runway announced a new feature called Aleph, allowing you to add, remove, transform objects, generate any angle of a scene, as well as modify style and lighting, among many other tasks.
So I hope you enjoyed this video. Now, did I miss something? Please let me know in the comments your favorite AI tools. Maybe you can list your tool stack and tell me why. Now, don't get defensive about the tools. Maybe you have another tool you prefer. We're adults here, so just let me know what you think about it. And if there's a specific topic you'd like me to talk about, please let me know in the comments. Now, when it comes to tools, I cannot try all of these tools because it's expensive. And also, I don't have the time to try all those tools, but please convince me. If there is a tool you really think would benefit the tool stack and the community, please let us know.